Good afternoon, everyone. Joe DeCamara with you here from 97.5 The Fanatic and for 97.5thefanatic.com. Of course, the NFL draft is about 2 months away, and we're all leading up to it. Excited to see what the future will hold for all these teams in the NFL. And we've got two players locally from the Philadelphia area that have turned a lot of attention and a lot of heads toward them as pro scouts and teams and executives are zeroing in on these two guys. I want to introduce them to you today. From Delaware Valley College, the Aggies, their quarterback, Aaron Wilmer, and of course the wide receiver, dynamic player from Del Val, Rasheed Bailey, with us here today for 97.5 The Fanatic. Guys, how are you?
Doing well.
Doing great, man. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's our pleasure. Congratulations on your accomplishment. And these two guys were a heck of a dynamic duo for the Aggies, and pro scouts have really taken a look at you guys now. I mean, it's been, I know for you, Aaron, as the quarterback of the Aggies. Last year, you set all sorts of records, over 3,200 yards passing to 30 touchdowns. It was quite a senior season for you.
Yeah, we, just a testament to all the hard work we put in during the year and then the off season leading up to the season. Coach Duke Greco, he helped us out a lot. Basically, me and Rasheed, we kind of carried the offense throughout the whole season. I put up, like you said, astronomical numbers, and they put us in a position now to hopefully get to the NFL.
It's awesome. When we talk about Rasheed and we talk about astronomical numbers, I mean, I don't know if this note card here is long enough for all these accomplishments. We're talking about 80 catches this past year, over 1,700 yards, 19 touchdowns. For you, Rasheed, I know the actual awards, the MAC First Team Player, Offensive Player of the Year, the ECAC Offensive Player of the Year, American Football Association Coaches Division III All-American, and of course most recently the Maxwell Football Club, and the ceremony is coming up next week as the Brian Westbrook Award winner as the Tri-State Player of the Year. It's a great resume you put together, Rasheed.
Yeah, I mean, over this, this span of 4 years, to finish strong like that, for us to really accomplish all the goals that we set for our 4 years at Del Val, to really grasp that feeling, to touch greatness. It was definitely a pleasure, and receiving the awards for all our hard work was definitely a need to go.
And Aaron, you have an accomplishment that's pretty unique. You're one of one of 20 players in the
26 players in college football history, all divisions.
How about that? So there's 26 players in the history of college football to pass for over 10,000 yards and rush for over 1,000 yards, and one of them sitting with us right here. So and listen, you're playing at a time, Aaron, where. We know this when we hear about the Mariotas of the world and the Chip Kelly kind of offense that has infiltrated pro football, where the ability to run, mobility, whether it's down the field or behind the line of scrimmage or as part of a read option, is a huge part of where the pro game's going right now.
Right, but also with the program, though, you still have to win within the pocket, as you know. I'm pretty sure you've done a lot of interviews with a lot of quarterbacks. So you want to make sure you hone in your pocket skills first. And then all the other stuff is just ancillary to what you can do during the course of a game, whether you need to extend a play or, maneuver your way in the pocket so you can get a throwing lane.
Let's talk about your game. What is your game? Define your game. For everyone that's watching, your game is, and of course it's not just one thing, but how would you encapsulate what you bring to the table?
Well, the first thing is just the film study. You got to prepare well during the week leading up to the game, because then you can be able to play fast when you're out there and make quick decisions rather than not knowing what defense you should expect on third and short, third and medium, third and long, things like that. And also, when you do that, your talent just takes over naturally, and you can make all the throws that you need to make because you know what to expect, when to expect.
I would say versatile. As a receiver, you don't want to be one-dimensional. You always want to have different aspects of your game. Whether you can line up inside, outside, go deep for a ball, get in between the trenches, going across the middle. I'm one of those guys who isn't afraid to go across that middle or to make that big play, to get that extra yard for a first down. Those are the type of players that you really want on your team. And, it's hard to find a receiver that wants to be versatile. That's my biggest, my biggest attribute.
It's funny, Mike, when you talk about going across the middle, Michael Irvin, who of course is a Hall of Famer from the NFL and from college football. And he's got a great line where he's talked about through the years. He was renowned for going across the middle. People would always say, "Hey man, aren't you afraid to go across the middle?" And Irvin's line was always, the people would always say, "How are you so unafraid to go across the middle?" And Irvin's like, "No, I wasn't unafraid. I was just more afraid of not being in the lake." Yeah. That was his path. I mean, he knew he had to go across the middle to be the kind of player that kept him in the league at such a high level for so many years.
Yeah. I mean, those are little things that really keep you around. Being one of those guys who will sacrifice your body for your team. Those are the players you want. And, those hurt, but you have to, be a team player and in order to be the best receiver you can be.
And just to touch on Rasheed's game also, people underestimate the amount of film work Rasheed does too, because we watch film a lot together.
Yep.
Game planning for the defense for the upcoming week, and he knows just as much as the quarterback knows as far as knowing what the defense is doing.
It's awesome. Guys, let's talk about this draft process. We're about 2 months away from the draft. You're both prospects. You both have a great shot to get drafted. What has this been like for you? What's going on a day-to-day basis? The working out, talking to the teams, the meeting with the teams in person. Scouts are around. You got an agent in your ear. What's this process like for you?
Well, for me personally, first of all, it's a blessing because I would have, never expected the things to get this far. Even though I always thought it could, I never expected to get this far. And so far it has. And right now I'm training in King of Prussia, actually with Antonio Davis, Premier Sports. Just working everything for the combine. But I'm going to phase that out now for this upcoming next couple of weeks. Start working out with Rasheed to get ready for our pro day on March 30th at Villanova.
Rasheed, what's it been like for you, man?
It's been a blessing, like he said, but at the same time, all those little dreams as a kid, growing up, and you feel those feelings. You got a scout calling you, you have an agent, and you're training with guys from these big schools, and you have this chip on your shoulder. It's like almost like I can't explain it. It's like I'm like a kid in a candy store. So every chance I get, I want to work out. I want to get in that weight room, or I want to get in the field and practice my 40 because these chances don't come around too often. So it's more like I appreciate these moments, and some people don't, and I want to grasp every moment that I can, so I can be like, okay, I did that. Mm-hmm. So that's it's just crazy. So training at test sports,
yep.
Where my agent allowed me to go. It was an awesome experience. Learned all the technical things about being a great player, not just running a 40 or running your 5-10-5.
Yeah, all the little things.
All the little
sure.
things.
It's awesome.
For me, football was my outlet. That was a place where I could go where nothing else mattered. It was a place where I couldn't get in trouble. I stayed away from all the bad things, and it saved me from a lot of things. So football is not just a game to me. It's my life, because I've dedicated so much of my time and my efforts to being the best player I can be, and putting that time in, and getting up all the way up to this point. Football is more than just a game. It's how I live. So, I mean, it's just a game is an understatement. It's life.
Okay. Rasheed, let's talk about, there's a lot of people out there that think you can succeed in a really high-end way. And there's people out there that say, hey, I'm not sure. He's from a small school. Until we see him do it, it's hard to know. Okay? What is your message to those out there that doubt you?
That no matter the obstacle, no matter what the challenge is, no dream is too big. Nobody can tell me what I can't do, because I'm my only opponent. I can only beat myself. Nobody can throw words at me or, bash me. Nobody can do that. I'm harder on myself than you are. So once I beat myself up, once I get through to myself, there's no way I can be stopped. So, I adapt to my competition, and that's the type of person I am, and I will compete at every level.
Aaron, how bad do you want this NFL dream, man?
I mean, it's different for me because Rasheed, he has the size for a guy in his position. For me, it's tougher. I got a tougher road because first of all, I'm a small school guy, undersized, and throughout this whole process, even when coming from high school into college, you're too short. I had a lot of success in high school. Then I got to college. People still doubt me, and I had a lot of success in college. So it's just, for me, it would just be a dream come true, and I'm willing to work as hard as anybody. I'm a film junkie. So I just want to, hopefully somebody gives me an opportunity to present myself on their stage, and I'll perform to the highest level.
Guys, final thing I want to finish with here is, as we talk about roots, let's talk about the roots of your last 4 years, is Del Val. Okay, Delaware Valley College, here in the Philadelphia area, suburb of Philly. I know has meant a tremendous amount to you, and your head coach, Duke Greco, has been been with you every step of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Tell the world about Del Val.
Well, first about Duke. He's the nicest guy you probably ever meet. He'll do anything for you in a heartbeat. Great family man, great head coach, great offensive coordinator. I'm expecting he's going to move up real fast if that's what he chooses to do. But as far as Delaware Valley College, I started my career at Westchester, and once I got to Del Val, it was a different world because they got the agricultural side of the school. But when just hanging out with the teammates all the time, I loved it there. I actually miss it because I'm not in school right now. I'm taking a semester off to train and all that, so I actually do miss it, and it's definitely a place for me that I always will call home.
And to branch off what he said, talking about Duke, he's definitely a great guy. Taught me a lot of life learned lessons. But all in all, overall, Del Val, it taught me how to become a man. It taught me, the little things in life. And, coming from a small school, having that chip on your shoulder, always wanting to be great. And, Del Val, some people look at, a Division III school and says, oh, they're not good enough or they're too small. But we played football and we competed. And every down we got, we treated it, like it was our last. And it was a family aspect of our game. And, just like, as you can tell, like me and Wilmer are close. That's how all, 11 guys are on that offense or on that defense or on the special teams. I mean, we all play together. And, Del Val changed my life. And, it made me who I am.
Awesome. Aaron Wilmer, Rasheed Bailey.
Joe, thanks for having us on. Appreciate it.
Great to have you here at the Fanatic, and we wish you the best of luck, man. I know Philly's in your corner. You guys got the skills. Keep at it. 2 months to the NFL draft, and it's going to be an exciting 60 days for you guys, and then beyond there. Aaron Wilmer, Rasheed Bailey, Joe DeCamara, 97.5 The Fanatic.